Yo, what's up, everybody? Wednesday here, Wednesday, July 25th, and breaking news, Darren Till will be fighting Tyron Woodley in Texas. So those of you who are MMA fans, you certainly understand that Colby Covington just beat former UFC world champion Rafael Dos Anjos for the #1 contendership of the UFC welterweight title. In fact, there was an interim title belt on the line that Colby Covington won, the interim welterweight world title versus Rafael Dos Anjos, former world champion, to fight Tyron Woodley and unify the belts, if you will, really fight for Tyron's real belt. Covington just coming off a fight 4 weeks, 6 weeks or so ago, a month and a half ago, had a scheduled surgery, no surgery, just recently got the surgery, and apparently told the UFC he was scheduled for surgery. This is a week or so ago, and would fight him 100%. But in November, I think Covington wanted to do end of year in December. Truly, that's a big show, big money on that show, a lot of eyeballs. But said that he would fight in November, even move it up to come a little closer. The UFC shut that down and instead has put Darren Till to fight Tyron Woodley for the UFC welterweight world title. And that's what this video is about. This video isn't really about Covington or Covington's earned spot, because that's a whole video by itself. I do believe Covington has earned the opportunity to fight and should be given at least 6 months, if not 8 or 12 months in order to fight, especially coming off an injury. And Woodley's coming off an injury. I think Woodley hasn't fought in over a year now, coming off legitimate injuries, as many athletes do. Mirsad Bektik, our own athlete, went through a knee surgery, was all on the shelf for 18 months in between fights. But of course, he was in a booted cast and such, as I'm sure. I've had no surgery also. That's a pain in the ass, man. That's 6 weeks. You can't even breathe. It's so raw in there. You can't even breathe. But anyway, that's not the video. The topic of today is how the fuck does Darren Till deserve a shot at the UFC world title, having just missed weight by 3.5 pounds for his razor-thin controversial decision win over former world title contender, not champion, contender, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who's a great fighter. I'm a big fan of Stephen's, great fighter. But he didn't win the world title, and he didn't beat Woodley. He fought Woodley twice for the world title. Thompson didn't win that fight. Either of those fights. He's still out there at the class, but he's not a former world champion. Darren Till missed weight by 3.5 pounds versus Woodley, versus Wonderboy. Now, that was given a 1 pound allowance at 171 pounds. That is the non-title fight UFC weight cap. In title fights, all welterweights must weigh 170.00, 170 pounds. We call that scratch weight. He must make scratch. That's the lingo behind the scenes. 170.00. Now, Till weighed 174.5 for his last fight versus Wonderboy. He nearly died, I would say, from observing and from reading the reports. He was in a terrible, terrible, terrible way. One of the most horrific weight cuts in mixed martial arts history. Now, Darren Till's an amazing athlete. Don't get me wrong. And don't misunderstand the point of this video. Darren Till potentially will be a UFC world champion. But not this next fight, because he missed weight by 3.5 pounds. And he breached his contract. And he put the promotion and his opponent in terrible situations, unprofessional situations. He did not fulfill his contractual obligation to fight at that high level, that big boy, that big girl level. Yoel Romero missed weight 2 fights ago when he fought Luke Rockhold for the interim world title. He missed weight. And what happened? The UFC gave him his very next fight, a world title fight, to which he missed weight again, likely costing the UFC millions and millions of dollars in lost revenue, because now it's no longer a world title fight. When you miss weight, you can no longer compete for the title. You have to weigh the scratch weight class in order to qualify to fight for the title. Romero missed weight twice for world title fights. Doesn't the UFC see that? The risk. Also, the missed message it sends, and this is probably the most important aspect of this video, it's the mixed message it sends to all the other athletes on the roster. To say out of one side of their mouth that they care about the health and the safety of the athletes, and they're going to help, revolutionize weight cutting and look for more bureaucracy and more red tape and more time limit changes, more restrictions on the athlete's ability to be healthy. But then they're going to encourage and reward athletes who miss weight with massive piles of money and elite status and millions of dollars in marketing the athlete's brand by giving them these high main event fights, these high stature fights, these high profile fights. What? How do you do that when an athlete just misses weight? How do you reward them? As good as they might be. Amazing. Darren Till's an amazing fighter. Love to watch him fight. His fucking fight with Cerrone was awesome. But he missed weight. Enough said. Now, if there were penalties in place that we've discussed for years, the only way to curtail and help revolutionize the weight cutting industry is to change the cultural perception. It's not changing the time the athlete steps on the scale. It's not hydration tests or specific gravity tests. It has nothing to do with weighing the fighter in on fight day or telling the fighter what weight they must weigh a certain number of days before the fight itself. That is not regulated or enforced. It has nothing to do with that, because all those are gamed. 13-year-olds in Iowa can game that whole system right now, and they are. And every youth wrestling coach knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's easy. Gymnasts know how to do this too. Many athletes. It's part of the culture, right? It's part of the culture. So that's all bullshit. That's all bureaucracy. That's all red tape. That's all clickbait headlines. But behind the scenes, athletes are being rewarded for missing weight. So if we reduce the benefit of missing weight and winning, if we make it hurt more to miss weight and win, then there's no incentive for the athlete to do it anymore. The athletes won't do it anymore. What does that mean? That means if you miss weight, motherfucker, 6 month suspension. You missed weight. Damn, why'd you miss weight? Because you're unhealthy, your body's shutting down, you had a mini heart attack, you had a mini stroke, you missed weight for a health issue. Guess what, human? You're going to the hospital and you're working with all the doctors, getting all the tests, and you're going to give your body a little time to get healthy again. Because what you just did to yourself got you to the point that you couldn't weigh in without dying. You should probably take 6 months off for an evaluation period to make sure you're healthy, at least. If it happens twice, 12-month suspension, and probably we have to move up a weight class. Boom. Now there's no fight coming up. You miss weight. Fuck, I'm not going to fight for 6 or 12 months. Also, unprofessional athletes out there, it's a 50% mandatory minimum fine off all money earned. Off all money earned, your show money, your win money, any discretionary money, any side letters, any pay-per-view points if you're getting it, your Monster Energy money, your Reebok money, clip. You miss weight, 50% goes straight to your opponent if they choose to accept the fight. Because if you miss weight, your opponent should already be guaranteed their show money. As long as your opponent steps on the scale and weighs in, no matter what, if your opponent shows up, if they get on that fight week, and and at any point during that process, you miss weight, your opponent steps on the scale on weigh-in day, weighs their weight as they're supposed to, meets their contractual obligation, and gets paid out their show money. Period. The end. If you miss weight over 3 pounds, you're pulled from the card. No matter what, your opponent can't say anything, but your opponent then gets their show and their win money, and you forfeit it. And that's a loss on your record. And your opponent gets a win because you forfeited, just like in basketball. If a team shows up with 4 players, if a baseball team shows up with 8 players, guess what? Umpire, ref, boop, forfeit. This team wins, that team loses. Move on. That's the way it works in any other credible sport. Why shouldn't it work like this in MMA? Now the opponent's protected. The opponent can still choose to take the fight if it's within 3 pounds. If it's over 3 pounds, the opponent gets the win and gets their win money. And the athlete who didn't miss weight, guess what? Now you don't get paid. You don't get paid. And you got to wait 6 months. Unless, and people are like, oh, Dolce. And then people are so stupid. If you think like this, I'm sorry, you're stupid because you don't see it through. You don't see it to the end. And you certainly don't have the experience that I have in seeing athletes cut weight and seeing other athletes miss weight and hearing the coaches and the teammates and the organizers sometimes talk about weighing the pros and cons of missing weight, of pulling up short, pulling up. You're going to pull up within 3 pounds so you don't have to go through that final little fucking death march. That every athlete out there knows what I'm talking about. It's easy to lose the first 17 pounds. The last 3 are a motherfucker. And most athletes, you'll see, they miss right within that 3 pound radius because they get there and then they start to mentally break. And this is what happens. They mentally start to break. Their body starts shutting down for a multitude of reasons, some of which it's because of the stress and the anxiety that they're under. Because of that, there's a biochemical response that actually inhibits the body from even losing weight, even if there is weight to lose. Most don't understand this, but we up here, the black belts, we understand this. So the high stress, high anxiety creates a situation where the athlete now, it's more difficult for the athlete to lose weight. So the athlete mentally shuts down. It gets harder for them. They're like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this. I got 2.5 pounds to go. It took me like 2 hours to lose the last pound. Fuck, I don't want to do it anymore. Man, fuck it. Fuck it. We'll just, pretend, wear your plastics, go down, look like you're super tired. We'll talk to the organizer. We'll say something, They'll take the fight. And that's what happens. The vast majority of the time, the opponent takes the fight. The athlete they look like, oh, we're so sucked. I'm hurting so bad. Now, not to say that Till wasn't. Till was. I believe Darren Till's a badass, tough motherfucker, and was on that death march before his body just shut down. His body shut down. But most of the athletes who miss weight, it's because they mentally break. It's not because they physically break. They mentally break. And a lot of the athletes who miss weight, well, they were mentally broken in the off season. This is the big issue. They're mentally broken in the off season. That's why they show up to fight camp out of shape, and that's why they show up to fight week out of shape, and that's why they miss weight. It's because they're mentally broken much deeper in their lives. And that's the true statement, because everybody knows they got to be on point. You got to be on point, especially if you've ever missed weight before. You should never recreate that. And many of these athletes do. And the more that they do, man, just mentally, it's over. It's over. But going back to the topic, Darren Till stepping in to fight Wonder Boy, it's a farce. It's a shame. Not that Darren Till athletically doesn't deserve it. Not in front of Colby Covington, because Colby has done what he needed to do. He's got the interim title. That makes no sense. Colby made weight, has never missed weight. Colby made weight and beat Dos Anjos badly. Till just squeaked by Wonder Boy, and that's still debated who really won that fight. It was a good fight. Colby ran through Dos Anjos and won the welterweight interim title and wants to fight just 2 months later, just 8 weeks later. Why that would be pulled, and I don't know the full behind the scenes. I probably do. But in no way does it make sense. It's a poor decision. It's a shame. It's a shame for the sport. Because all it would take right now is for the UFC to take a stand and say, we would put Darren Till on this card, but unfortunately, he missed weight in his last fight. Therefore, he's got to fight Kamaru Usman. Fair. There you go. Give him a fighting chance. That should be, so Till versus Usman, my opinion, that should be the challenger to Covington Woodley. That right there, man, that's a 4-man tournament. Looking pretty good with Woodley, of course, the champ at the top with the belt. He's got the gold, defending champ. But once you step in the octagon, there's no belt anymore. You got to fight for it. That belt's laying in the middle. So I like that. I like that. So Covington versus Woodley, that's the right fight for every metric. That's the right fight, unless they're running some sort of bullshit algorithm on pay-per-view rates, which probably is a part of it. And I understand that side of the business too. But still, that's short term. That's not long term. That's not long term, guys and girls. If you're listening, that's not long term. That's short sighted. Put the right challengers in. Put the right people in. Put the right people in. Get the credibility of the sport. Don't keep this skewing. You can't reward these unhealthy athletes, the unprofessional athletes. Unfortunately, Till needs to learn his lesson. Yoel Romero needs to learn his lesson. He didn't learn his lesson. He was rewarded. He was rewarded for it. These athletes are rewarded for missing weight. Josh Emmett misses weight versus Ricardo Lamas, wins by knockout versus Ricardo Lamas, gets elevated, then fights a main event versus Jeremy Stevens, the biggest payday of his career after missing weight. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Does anybody else see the problems here, the conflicts here? Do you see the long-term issue here? It's a long-term issue. It's not a short-term decision. And this is all being made short-term. And I hope you in the public, I hope you pay more attention to this and see it this way and speak openly about it. I hope the media, the greater media with the big microphone, I hope they get to talk about this more. The media in general, they should be asking these questions. Till just missed weight. How can you say you care about health and fighter safety when he just missed weight and now you're paying him? You just added a zero to the back of his fucking paycheck after he missed weight. What? My little job. What? Yeah, no. Right? What the fuck, man? It's so stupid. It pisses me off. This grinds my gears. I'm going to have to start doing a grinds my gears episode. It's always going to be about weight cutting and the fucking dickheads. And then let's talk about the other dickhead team that's out there in the weight cutting world, right? Brendan Schaub, Mr. Brendan Schaub's going hard for whatever reason. I guess somebody on that team said some not nice stuff about Mr. Brendan Schaub, which is dumb because Brendan Schaub is a beast in the game. And has highlighted some serious fuckery going on in the hospital. How do you manage to fuck up so bad that world-class athletes are getting pulled off the card? That's how you manage. How do you manage that? That's my question. How do you manage that? How do you manage to still even be in the business after hurting so many athletes? That's the question. So, but time tells all. And just with enough time and perspective, you sit back and you look. It's like my rant yesterday on results. The results matter. Results matter. Look at the athletes. Results matter. Look at Demetrius Johnson. Results matter. Right? Dominic Cruz. Results matter. George St. Pierre. Results matter. The lineage, the history, the consistency. The results. From a weight management perspective, the Dolce Diet, 100% success ratio over 20 years working with the world's greatest athletes. 100% success ratio on the Dolce Diet. The Dolce Diet has never had an athlete miss weight ever. 100% of the time, our athletes have made weight for over 20 years. We've been doing it longer at a much higher level than everybody else in the game. Why do we have a 100% success ratio? Ooh, isn't that awesome? Isn't that fun to say? For over 20 years. There's teams in the game that have been here for 2, 3, 4 years. They've had a dozen plus athletes miss weight, multiple athletes hospitalized in the middle of their weight cut and pulled from cards for being unable to continue cutting weight. Athletes whose careers have been ended as a result of working with certain teams. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Crazy, yo. That's crazy, yo. So now I'm going to answer your questions. Coley Amos, what's up, Coley? I'll fight him. I bet you with Aaron Thomas, Colby versus Woodley would be the killer. That's the fight to make, man. Aaron Tomei, I agree. Damien, good morning from New Zealand. What's up, New Zealand? Can't wait to get there. I'll be heading your way soon. Frank Nash, so what's better, anaerobic first at the gym or aerobic first at the gym? Aerobic first at your house, man. You don't need to go to the gym to do aerobics, to do aerobic activity, to perform what we call LIST, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity, preferably performed while fasted, which means in the absence of insulin. LIST has been shown to more efficiently oxidize stored or stubborn gender-specific body fat. Those are the problem areas. So if you're going to be spending the 30 to 60 minutes performing an aerobic activity, you might as well perform LIST fasted. It's as good, but slightly better. Also, there's a very good emotional, psychological effect of performing lists. Most people who perform lists tend to operate at a higher level. They feel better. Their cognitive process is more efficient. Their digestive efficiency seems to have increased. It's actually really good to just be a human and go for a walk. We try and remind you guys, you are a bipedal organism. You are designed to walk low or medium to far distances at low to moderate rates. We're very slow land animals. We're not very good at running. We're really good at walking, and that's the way we were designed. So we should be walking more. Doing so within the absence of insulin is a great way to add to your exercise program, because most other training that you do, if you look at it in total proportion, will be fed training. It usually will be, 1 to 5 hours after a meal. Well, that's still considered fed. That's not fasted. So that's what I would suggest. Kevin, UFC cares about fighters making weight like Pride cared about fighters not using steroids. That's funny. Coley, I suspect Dana is accelerating Till to the top for future payday purposes. I don't know. It's possible. Mixed Spank, talk about creatine brands, please. I don't know. All creatine basically comes from two primary locations as far as a distributor goes, and the bulk material, I believe, in Germany. That's the number one provider of all bulk creatine to the entire supplement industry. So all the supplements, all the creatine supplements, regardless of the brand, they're all getting it from the same processing facility in Germany. All the bulk goes to them. They package it, put their little label on it, and they charge you for it. Aaron, thoughts on missing weight and going on to win, like Mackenzie Dern? Seems like there's only a financial slap on the wrist, like an NFL player, penalty or fine. Yeah. Some states have an athlete kick up 20% of their show money only. Show money only. If you win, you keep it all. Some states, it's 30% of total purse. So there's a little bit of interplay in between. That's not enough. That's not enough. I will gladly give back 20% of $100 in order to not go home with $50. Get what I mean? I will gladly give a 20% penalty if it nearly guarantees a 100% return. Okay? If I make weight and kill myself in the process because mentally and physically I'm broken from not being a professional in the 6, 8, 12, 24 weeks prior to the fight, so I pull up early within 3 pounds, and now I feel awesome, and I'm pretty much fed and rehydrated a day before my opponent even has the opportunity. I feel mentally so strong, like I have an advantage, which is a powerful affect for athletes preparing to compete. Positive mindset. It's silly, but true. I will make that wager. I will take that risk, because if I lose, well, fuck, I'm going home with 40, right? Going home with $40 or $50. If I lose, I'm just getting my show money. But if I win, I'm getting show money and win money minus 20%. But I just gained 100%. So that's easy, and that's what the athletes do. So that's why we're saying it has to be 50% of everything, 50%, and then a 6 to 12 month suspension. Done. So now, guess what? You can only fight twice this year, not 3 or 4 times. And you know what? We need you for the big UFC fight, but you're still on suspension. Sorry. Joey, Mike, Darren Till almost died. Not funny, but a classic Dolce rant. Yeah, I did the rant when Darren Till did that weight cut. It was crazy. I wonder who is doing his weight cut now. Oh, who knows? Who knows? Till might die. He wants to be a 3 division champ. That's silly. That's silly. Let's go, Steel Road. Um, he's definitely going to miss weight again, or he's going to pull out on fight week. Dana knows this, but he's just going to act shocked. Boo Ride, I agree with Mike. Making weight is part of the contract. It's part of the game. I don't think fighters should be even allowed to fight if they're over, no matter what. I don't disagree with that. I can go that way. The only reason I say is the fight within 3 pounds should go on. Let the opponent choose, because the opponent should have the ability to choose if they want to fight it within 3 pounds, because maybe getting that fight, getting that win, and feeling it was a perfect matchup, because some fighters, they want to fight. I mean, they're not just saying it. They want to fight. They want to whip that person's ass. They're ready. They think their style just perfectly matches up to them. They want to get in there and get it done. And they want to show the world what they can do. So within 3 pounds, give the opponent the option. Reese, have you refused working with athletes because their weight was too high and unhealthy to cut to a target weight within an allotted time? No, but I have refused to work with athletes in that situation who were too unprofessional for us to work with. Their team was too unprofessional for us to work with. Their level of commitment was too unprofessional for us to work with. And these are some big name athletes, athletes and you probably cheer for. But behind the scenes, nope, we're good. I'm good. Athlete, you're halfway cool, but you're a fucking prima donna. And the people around the athlete, I never want to talk to you people again. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to have coffee with you. No, I don't want to be on a bus with you. If I'm on a plane with you, I'm moving my seat, because I'm not going to be in that type of negative fucking bubble. So those are typically the athletes that we choose not to work with. And sometimes that is the athlete too. The athlete's like that. There's some good athletes that are pretty good people surrounded by scum. So then they have a propensity to a little scumminess themselves. We don't, it's not worth it for us at all. Boo Rida, DC showed that you can win at your natural weight. Cutting isn't always necessary, or is it? No, it's not. I agree that DC should probably be fighting, walking around somewhere in the 220s or so. I think that would be ideal. I would love to see DC recomp his body, lose about 20 pounds of non-functional body mass. I know he would live longer, because we're a longevity team first and foremost. Right? Longevity science clearly shows that sub 15% body fat individuals are much, 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 much more likely to live longer and resist or avoid certain medical conditions and diseases. Right? Lifetime related illness below 15% body fat is much lower than being above 15%. And then as you increase in body fat percentage, your rate of all cause mortality increases. And that's everybody listening. And those who are regular viewers of the YouTube channel and of the Mike Dolce Show podcast, we talk about this all the time. I just happen to be ranting about the MMA world today, of which I am very, very heavily involved in. Kevin, and 3 weeks to Shredded on Saturday. Signed up for Living Lean as well. Can I request a workout program based around 8x8 Dolce Diet? Best program ever. Don't hesitate. Sign up now. Kevin, I appreciate that. So Kevin is following our online personalized diet and exercise program at thedolcediet.com. Thedolcediet.com completely personalizes your own nutrition program and your exercise program. Every meal, every recipe, every ingredient is detailed specifically for you every day on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop, wherever you go. You know exactly what you should be eating, plus weekly grocery lists. So you can see everything listed for you. You have no reason to not eat perfectly. And the food is delicious, and it's inexpensive to make, and it's very time efficient. We also build you a complete exercise program as a part of your goal set. And you go through the onboarding and you tell us about yourself, what your background is, what your job is like, what your training history is, what your experience is, and what your goals are. What are you trying to accomplish? Our sophisticated science actually then builds you your most ideal personalized program. It is the most successful healthy weight loss program ever devised. as proven by the world's greatest athletes with a 100% success ratio over 20 years. Ours is the only team and system that can make that claim for a reason, because ours is the best, and it is available for you, everybody listening, who needs to get back on track. You want to start losing weight. You want to feel better. You want to start making progress, but you just don't know what to do. Go to thedolcediet.com right now and get started. Use my personal promo code NEWME, NEWME, and you'll save 20%, which is fucking awesome. We never do that, and I never promote it except sometimes on here when I talk to you guys. You can save 20% right now at thedolcediet.com and get started. We have our 3 weeks to shredded program, which is a 4-week plan. There's one bonus week designed to lose 21 pounds in 21 days for our world-class athletes. That was the design. Many people lose more than 21 pounds in 21 days, which is crazy. Some people lose less. It's all individual. Results may vary, of course, but it depends on how much you have to lose and how dedicated you are to the program. It's that simple. It fucking is awesome. And then we have our 8-week Living Lean program. That's part of the 12-week bundle, which is a recomposition program to start building muscle, building strength, curving, shaping, toning your body while continuing to scrape out that body fat. So it's not just losing total body weight and get fucking yoked, like super shredded, fight shape. It's about now getting that really good, classic, aesthetic, healthy physique. That's all, again, at thedolcediet.com. Promo code NEWME. Save 20% right now. And I appreciate it. That's awesome. Kevin, you are crushing it, man. Keep me posted. Christian, great point on Till. Are there any foods or supplements you recommend for getting a deep sleep quicker? Thanks. Appreciate it as always. No, and I rarely do this, but what I will say is on its new mood product, it's a tryptophan 5-HTP product, is very good. Is very good. I'm not a big fan of anything, all supplements. I'm not a big fan of, but I have used because I've been traveling on and off planes quite a bit, and sleeping has been more challenging for me. I can still fall asleep and sleep the about the same quantity of time, but I just haven't been feeling rested. I haven't been getting that deeper sleep because I've been on these different coasts and different states and cities and time zone and all that fun stuff. So I started again taking the On It New Mood 2 pills per day, and I sleep deeper. I feel better. I wake up and I feel more rested. That's anecdotal, right? That's just me talking. I don't have any discernible proof, blood work or anything to show that. I have no real data other than I feel better. I really do feel better. I feel like I feel like I have more deep sleep to get. I'm just not quite caught up yet. But the last 3 nights of taking 2 pills, I feel better. I feel like the sleep is much deeper and more rested. As to foods go, you don't want to heavily spike your insulin at night. So I'd stay away from sugary food, high carbohydrate food at night, depending, more like I like eggs and veggie. If I need to eat something like within an hour or two of bed, usually it's like a veggie omelet, something along that lines. I still feel bad for Mackenzie Dern's last opponent. Me too. Brian White, you say do a 5x5 linear periodization of progressive overload, adding small increments of weight. What do you think about running a block periodization model of strength and endurance and power? Brian, yes to all of them, and I do all of them, and I've done all of them. And for my career, 30-year career, 30 years in writing programs is crazy. I'm actually 762 years old. I ran all those programs, and I will continue to run all those programs. The most important aspect of strength training is the program you're currently on is getting stale. Just keep that in mind. The program you're on is getting stale. So what's next? And I typically think in 3-week blocks, but usually about 10 days in, it's time to start changing the program. Right? If you're really, really trying to monitor all metrics, and you have to be paying attention to metrics because that's what this is, right? You have to measure everything. That really gives you that. Then that, at the very least, it gives you feedback that your experience, and my experience of 30 years as a strength coach and an athlete, and working with thousands of athletes and clients, over that time, and then having my peers as strength coach and professional trainers and all that stuff. That's the experience. So sometimes what a block periodization system might dictate is not actually going to work for your athlete, but the concept still fits. So that's a higher level explanation that I think you'll understand. Steel Jack City, how do you feel about grass-fed milk for someone that digests dairy with no issues? I wouldn't have a problem with it, but not every day, not a couple times a day. I don't think drinking 8 ounces of milk a day is going to be beneficial to all but, puberty, enriched, embroiled males, right? That kind of like 13 to 23 window, 15 to 19 window. That's probably the ideal time where the male body typically, because of the hormones that are just being pumped out, you're so anabolic at that age and stage where you can get away with it. Billy's Brew. Kevin Lee said someone will have to die before they change it. That's possible. Well, you hear me talking about it, right? I've been saying it for years now. I've been saying it. Research it. Research my name and weight cutting or something. You'll see me talk about it a lot. Hello, coach. Is there any variation of a big compound movement like squat or deadlift that you think is great to build your calves? Thanks from Italy. You know what I found really good to build calves is walkouts. Truly, walkouts with a big, heavy barbell that you can manage, but walkouts, boom, setting up under the bar, typically kind of low bar status across those rear delts, and just, unracking it and then setting up, walking it out, holding the weight, and then walking back in. When I was doing lots of my heavy powerlifting and I was doing heavy walkouts, that's the biggest my calves ever were. And I wasn't doing any targeted calf work. Also doing heavy pulls, heavy deadlifts. Heavy deadlifts, because of the bent over and the stretched nature of the calf muscle, heavy deadlifts will build big calves too. If you think about it, your toes through the balls of your feet, you are pressing into the ground. You're hitting a donkey calf from that position. You're not getting good contractile length from that position, but still, it's a dramatic overload. Hey, coach, is there any variation of big comp down? And then that being said, you should be doing some just basic body weight calf raises on your steps, on a door jam, just sitting on the front porch, talking to your buddy and just kind of banging out a few good full range. That's all you need. Till versus Woodley, much better than Colby. Thank God they booked it. Ricardo, you're silly. You're silly, man. TJ, I think Till wins with his pressure. I'm not saying I know more because I don't I'm not talking about who wins or loses the fight. I really don't care who wins or loses the fight. They're neither of my guys. It's just not good. It's not good for the industry long term. It's a very poor decision from the UFC. Very poor decision. Outside of who's athletically merited to compete. I'm not even talking about that. That's not what this is about. This video is about how can the UFC elevate an athlete who just missed weight to a world title fight, and then say in the next press conference how they're doing everything they can to look out for the health and safety of the athletes as a result of bad weight cuts. Well, maybe you shouldn't reward them. Maybe you shouldn't give them a big bucket of money when they miss weight. Ahmed, yo, Uncle Mike, I respect you, but I don't agree with you on that one. If you make weight 50 times and miss it once, doesn't make you unprofessional. Hence, Till deserves a title shot if Colby is out. No, that's wrong. I appreciate your comment, but it's wrong because Till breached his contract, right? That's unprofessional. If you breach your contract, and it's a two-part contract. Part one is you make weight. Part two is you fight. It's a two-part contract, the most simple contract in all of professional sports. You make weight, you fight. Till breached his contract. So that is unprofessional by definition. That would be unprofessional. You signed a contract that you do not complete. You do not fulfill your contractual obligations, and your opponent does. You're unprofessional. So Till's unprofessional. He breached his contract, but he almost died. Right? He almost died. The medical team had to step in and stop it. Right? That's all that's unprofessional. All of it's unprofessional. Roman, yo, Mike, what's up, brother? Almost miss you. I miss you too. Aw. Reese Cooper, have you refused athletes who are at an unhealthy weight body fat percentage and you need to make it weight within a allotted time? I think I've answered that already. And the answer is we've refused athletes in similar situations, but not because of the situation itself, because of their lack of professionalism in whatever capacity I might be using that term. Werber, hey, Mike, got food poisoning for 3 days, feeling better today, and recommended would your electrolyte drink be? So my personal electrolyte is a gallon of water, sprinkle of Himalayan sea salt, a little squeeze of raw local honey, and some fresh squeezed lemon or lime. And then eating my normal diet of earth-grown nutrients in great variety. Every 2 to 4 hours. I'm stocked up. That's my personal lifestyle, right? In that situation, that's what I would do without knowing what specific deficiencies you might have. Bro Science Hustler, got my Dolce game on now. Ground turkey, quinoa, and jasmine rice. Boom, Bro Science Life. I love it. Keep me posted on your results, my friend. Keep it up. Man, who you got though? I got Till. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm buddies with Woodley. You know, I like Woodley. We go way back. We used to train together in like 06, 07, 08 up at Team Quest when I was the head strength coach of Team Quest North in Portland, Oregon, under Randy Couture, Matt Linlin, Dan Henderson, Evan Tanner was still, around, at that time. So I know Woodley from the old days, so every time we see each other, we get to hang out a little bit. And man, he just needs to get paid. So you can't be mad at Woodley's going to fight who they put in front of him, right? He could have put his heels in and said, no, I'm going to wait for Woodley. But I think Woodley probably he's going to wait for Colby. But I think Woodley thinks it's funny that Colby doesn't get the payday. That alone will probably, in my opinion, I don't know, Tyron hasn't said, but that alone will probably keep Woodley from choosing to fight Colby. Not so much that he doesn't think he can win. I don't think it's a matter of that, because every athlete thinks they're going to win. Just not to give Colby that big payday. Because when Colby fights Woodley, it'll be the biggest payday of Colby's career. Colby will likely make over $1 million for that fight. Truly. Whether it's disclosed or not, but he'll probably walk away with $1 million for that fight. If he fights, let's say he fights Kamaru Usman next, I don't know. Maybe he'll walk around with 200. Maybe, 100 or so to show, 100 or so to win. A little sprinkle on top, maybe 300, kind of maximum. I don't think Frankie Edgar's pulling 300 right now. Who should be? Frankie Edgar should be making 7 figures every fight. Frankie should be making easily. It should be guaranteed. Elijah, how should you plan out your meals when training twice per day? I lift in the mornings and still work sparring at night. We eat every 2 to 4 hours based upon activity. You don't have to worry about it, man. Don't get so crazy. Don't be so template. Don't be so rigid. Every 2 to 4 hours based upon activity. What did I just do? What am I about to do? What do I need to replenish and restore? What do I need to pre-fuel with? That's all. That's all you need to know. Educate your mind, man. That's what I'm talking about, though. That's the philosophy. That's the way you get off these template fucking programs. That's what we do with the DolceDiet.com. It's an education system. That's right. We trick you. The Trojan horse of rock hard abs and big fucking tight booties. The Trojan horse of winning world titles and just being a fucking sexy beast. Well, that's how we get you in. And then we teach you how to eat for the rest of your life to be a healthy person, to offset many health issues and lifestyle-related issues that will manifest to the average human. 2 out of 3 Americans will die of lifestyle-related illness. Well, we want to do our part to try and teach you, at the very least, how to feed yourself in the healthiest possible manner in your geographic location with the budget that you have. We want to help teach you how to do this to the best of your ability to look fucking awesome, also, but be well-fed and happy. That's at thedolcediet.com. What are the best bodyweight exercises for burning fat? Walking, list, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity. Go back and look through my recent videos. You'll see tons of fat burning exercises or videos. Conor versus Nick Diaz. That's a fight I enjoy. Me too. Hustler. Who's the most bodied up, shredded female in the UFC MMA today? I don't know. Actually, is sunflower oil okay? I don't personally use it, so I can't really give an endorsement to it, and I don't have a lot of knowledge on sunflower oil. I haven't really done my research on it. We typically use avocado oil, coconut oil, and peanut oil for cooking, low to moderate heat cooking. We use extra virgin olive oil, macadamia nut oil as cold or room temperature oils. Todd says, thank you for staying in touch with your fans. Taking time to do what you do online is appreciated. Todd, I appreciate that, man. Every day I try and give you guys at least an hour. I've been on 44 minutes right now, just free and live, answering everybody's question the best that I can. I charge money for that. I charge serious money for that. Some of you guys might know. And I try and give it to you guys for free as much as possible because my job as a coach is to help you. My job as a coach is to help teach people, coach people, not so you have to do what I say, so you don't. My job is to teach you as much as I can so you can live your life without me, so you can go down your own rabbit hole of education. That's why I say the DolceDiet.com is the Trojan horse. We give you the exact program to follow for the rest of your life. And then we give you an extra 200 recipes that you can start to sub in and out for the rest of your life. So you can live the life that you just choose without paying anybody anymore, because you don't need to and you shouldn't have to. That's what the DolceDiet.com is. It teaches you how to do it, how to get structured, and then move on. So things like this, I'm just supporting the content. Just supporting the content. Guys, this, to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my experience, in doing this as a professional for over 30 years, working with the world's greatest athletes, Hollywood's most beautiful celebrities, and some of the most powerful humans on the planet, heads of state, this is what works. And I'm just telling you that, and I'm giving you access to this information for free. For free. And if you like it, awesome. If you don't like it, well, prove me wrong. Do your own research, because if you do your own research, you're most likely going to find that what I'm saying is actually true. It's actually true. Now, you could disagree with a different style. That's fine. We could talk about that. But what I'm saying is the most successful, it's the most effective, it's the most proven from my experience of 30 plus years working with the world's greatest athletes, Hollywood celebrities, and just tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of regular people, civilians. I'm a civilian, civilians like you, the rest of us, right? You're not getting paid millions of dollars to go step in the octagon and fight. Slightly different. You're not fucking trying to, dunk over LeBron James. I get it. You're just trying to live your best life. That's what we try and do here. And that's what I try and do with all this free content. Who else does this? All these other fucking shit shows out there pretending, right? Pretending like they know. They don't know. Who else puts themselves on fucking camera live for an hour a day, every day, and answers every fucking question? It's not like I ask for your questions up front. You just ask questions, I fucking answer. 100%. 100% as they come. Just a line. Boom. What? Boom, 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 boom. Answer. Right? To the best of my ability. I'm here to just be real. And you can tell. Everybody watching right now, you can tell if I'm full of shit. You look at me in the face, right? You can tell if I'm full of shit. So I'm not going to be full of shit. I'm the most honest man in fitness. By choice. That's my brand. That's my role. That's who I choose to be. I choose to tell you guys the fucking truth and not sell you the bullshit, right? Could you imagine if I went full in on keto 2 years ago when all the companies asked me to endorse their products? When other manufacturers wanted me to white label a product, a keto product, the Dolce Keto line? Could you imagine how much fucking money I would have made? Woo! Woo, baby. Woo, baby. But I didn't. I chose not to. I chose not to be honest, because I can't get behind it, because I don't believe in it, because it doesn't work. Right? So I'm not going to endorse it. I'm not going to stand behind it, and I'm not going to make a penny off of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys the truth. So instead, I choose to sit here and tell you guys the truth for free every day. How about that? How about that? I could easily have flipped it. Every 2 years, I could be flipping a different fucking program like all those fake fitness frauds put out, right? Your favorite fitness fucking fraud out there. Go do research. Go see what they were talking about 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years ago. Watch how different their best system. Watch how different their best system is. It's all bullshit, right? Because they're just hawking bullshit to you guys. We don't do that here. I don't do that here. And I invite you guys every day to stare me in the face and me look at you. And I'm just telling you the truth. And that's why I love to answer your questions, to get you guys just to open your mind so you do your research yourself. That's it. Everything I say, don't take as fact. Think everything I say is is not true. And then do your research. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. In the process, you're educating yourself. And that's the most important thing here. I don't care if you do what I tell you to do. I don't want you to do what I tell you to do, other than do your own research. That's the only thing I want you to do. Listen to what I have to say. Go, interesting, Dolce. Let's see here, Mr. Smarty Pants. TJ, Nick Diaz versus anyone at this point. I'd love to see that. Yeah, I'd love to see Nick Diaz come out and fight somebody. If he wants to, though, man. Nick's a little older. Maybe he doesn't want to get in that shit anymore. He's already a millionaire. Good for him. Larry Lee, can you buy the program now and start it after vacation? Yes. So if you go to the DolceDiet.com right now, use my promo code NEWME, NEWME, all one word. Join the 4-week or the 12-week personalized plan. You can then choose your start date, any date in the future you want. There's a little calendar drop down. It says, when do you want to start? You're like, you flick through the calendar, you look at the pages, and you say, August 1st, August 15th, whatever the date is, you can lock it in that way. You can also choose the type of meal plan you want. It defaults to an omnivore plan, which is a traditional eating program, which does have meat and plant-based and everything that you should have. Also, we have a vegan program, a dairy-free program, a nut-free program, and a gluten-free program. So you can switch those on or off in any combination to really personalize the experience for you. Also, will I need a gym membership? Nope, you don't. So we have in your exercise. So you actually get a training program at thedolcediet.com, also personalized to your goals. Inside the training program, you get every exercise, every set, every rep, with percentages of weight you should be using optimally for you. It's available on your mobile, on your tablet, on your laptop, and you can even with video tutorials of every exercise. You don't know what the exercise is, you just click on the button. Oh, I see that. Okay. But also, if let's say it calls for a barbell exercise, which some programs do, you don't have access to a barbell or a rack, no problem. Just go into the resource section. So we have a resource section of over 200 additional exercises that you can substitute in. So let's say it's a squat exercise. You go to the resource section into the lower body, and then you just pick one of the squats that suit you. Maybe it's a goblet squat holding your 35-pound daughter, or your 65-pound American pit bull, or maybe it's the 150-pound med ball. Maybe it's a kettlebell. Maybe, you know what, I don't have any sort of weighted implement, but I got stairs in the front of my house. Maybe it's a 2-stair step up instead. So that's the way our program is designed. It's designed truly to teach you, to offer you that structure, but to allow you to start substitute in and out to make it your own. That's what the DolceDiet.com does. Promo code NEWME, NEWME, save 20% right now. Why wouldn't you? It's fucking awesome. Best times of day to consume healthy fats throughout the day. I wouldn't eat fats post-workout. That'd be kind of the only time. Badis, hey coach, can I cook with butter and can I use jam for the East Coast breakfast toast you did for for Mr. Belfort? And did you use only eggs without milk for the East Coast? Whoa, bro, that's so many questions. Jesus. So can you cook with butter? Very, very lightly. If we ever do cook with butter, it's at the lowest possible heat setting. So not very often do we cook with butter. Can I use jam? I don't know what jam is. I would say stick with our fresh berry syrup. That would be the only thing that I could approve, not knowing what it is. Viva! Till will miss weight guarantee. Let's hope not, buddies. And can I do the breakfast bowl with current fruits? Because in Tunisia, we don't have strawberries, no berries. Yes, local fruits, that's what you want. Fred Rod, would it be healthy to eat the same foods every day, since in nature we would only have, well, it's not so much the same foods every day. What you're doing, you're eating within the same category of what's locally available. But I wouldn't say like a bodybuilder, all you eat is chicken and broccoli and white rice and oats and egg whites every day. You're going to build a deficiency. So what you want to be doing is eat with great variety within that food category. Have spinach, have kale, have asparagus, have arugula, have chard, have Brussels sprouts. Rotate through that way. Have like one or two of each every time you go to the grocery store. Ahmed, what do you think about Paulo Costa? Man, he's a badass dude. So it'd be interesting to see his next fight. Is he the real thing? We'll see. Is he a top 3 guy? We'll see. Hayden Naps, Cormier versus Corey Anderson, confirmed. I agree with Frankie. Pace statement. Cormier versus Corey Anderson. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking about that fight. Is that a fight? I mean, I like Corey, but I didn't know he was there. I didn't know he was top 2, top 3. That's at 205. Interesting. Shout out to Mirsad Bektik. Got me on the Dolce diet. Hell yeah. Mirsad Bektik, living the Dolce lifestyle. Reese, aside from sanctions for missing weight, what other recommendations would you give the UFC to address the health risk of UFC weight cutting? More weight classes, limit on weight gain before a fight. Can't put a limit on rehydration, because who's to say? Who's to say that you should gain 11 pounds, but I need to gain 17 in order to be optimal? Who's to say? Every human's different. They can't say, so they can't put a cap on that. What else do we got? Just more weight class. I would agree with more weight classes. I would like to see every 10 pounds from 105, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 205, 225, and then super heavy. That's what I would like to see. I don't know if MMA can get there yet, because the talent pool's not that big. And you say, well, what do you mean, Dolce? Maybe they could split up. I think they could go 55, 65, 75, 85. That's only, changing. It's adding one weight class. You're just pulling 70 and adding 65 and 75. I'd like to see that change before there's a 95 edition, but I think that would be the next edition. The split between 95 and 205, or 85 and 205. Brandon, what's your take on Nick Newell? I found it inspirational, but as you are an ex-fighter, what's your thoughts, man? Let him fight. Let him fight. If Nick wants to fight, let him fight. He seems he can hold his own, right? Every fighter gets punched in the face, man. I would dare to say that Chris Lieben got punched in the face more than Nick Newell, or Justin Gaethje gets hit in the face more than Nick Newell. That's what I would say. So, that being said, let him fight. I can't tell people what to do. He's, not putting anyone else at a disadvantage. He's choosing, and I wouldn't even call what he has a disadvantage. I wrestled a guy in high school who had one leg, and he beat me. I don't think he was a better wrestler than me. He was just better at wrestling in that situation. I was a, double leg guy. I wasn't really a single leg guy. I wasn't a high crotch guy. It was different. Everything was different. My certain, tilts and turns and pins were different. So all of a sudden you don't have that fourth limb available, which it's a big deal. So when you get used to a certain style, it's like you only fight southpaws, and all of a sudden an orthodox fighter steps in. It's a little different. It takes some adjustment. But voice up. Love the shirt. Right on, man. It's one of my favorites. Ronda got some good gear. I wear it quite a bit because it fits really well. I think that's the shirts. It's pretty, or stuff is pretty basic. The older stuff just fits so well, and it's like nice material. Bro Science, thanks for the knowledge, Mike. I'm 42. Remember back in the day we were getting jacked up on ephedrine from the GNC and gas station subs? Those were the days, brother. Ain't that the fucking truth? The little like white crosses, right? Which were legal. Ephedrine was legal in the 90s. It was legal, no problem. Go to the local 7-Eleven or the GNC, the sports supplement shops. You get some ephedrine. You mix that with white willow bark and caffeine. You take the little stack, the ECA stack, and that was like that was hardcore fat loss. Dangerous as fuck, and I do not suggest anybody try it. Dangerous as fuck. Stupid kids. What are your thoughts on vegetable glycerin? I did study that for some time, and I haven't in a much longer time. I do know I have a positive association with vegetable glycerin. I would have to do more research in order to give an honest or even partially intelligent answer. I could not do it justice right now. So I will. Buddies, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Of course, Deluxe 7. What's the difference between buying your program online and on Amazon? So the DolceDiet.com online program is a personalized membership plan. It's a personalized 4-week or 12-week membership plan in which your diet, your exercise program is completely tailored for you, specifically to you. It's everything you need, every ingredient, every recipe, every grocery list, every exercise, every set, every rep, video tutorials. It has leaderboards, it has forums, it has predictive avatars so you can track your progress in real time, resource sections with hundreds of extra recipes and exercises, so much stuff at thedolcediet.com. When you buy our products off of Amazon, you're buying one of our #1 best-selling books. We have the 3 Weeks to Shredded. We have Living Lean and the Living Lean Cookbook Volume 2. We also have the College Diet Guide, which was #1 on Amazon US. The others have been on #1 on Amazon US and multiple other countries, 5 other countries to be exact. That's what you get at Amazon. And you can certainly download our products on your Kindle. So if you have a Kindle, that's fine. You can do a download. A lot of people download 3 Weeks to Shredded because it's a really good read, and Living Lean, they're really good reads. If you want the cookbook, most people want to hold the cookbook in their hand so they can keep it in their kitchen. I get that. But if you want a 100% personalized experience, that will be at thedolcediet.com because it's obvious technology that interacts directly with you and will build you your specific plan. You can use promo code NEWME if you're interested and save 20% right now because I'm fucking cool like that. Larry Lee just signed up for the 12-week program at thedolcediet.com. Larry Lee, that is awesome, my friend. Keep me posted. Remember, I am here for you. Every day I'm here for you. So those of you who are following the program right now at thedolcediet.com, when you have questions, I'm here to answer your questions. It's like I'm your personal coach, right? What other system does that? What other system offers that? Every day I'm here for you guys to talk directly to you. Love it. And some of you, many of you, you have questions that you send to our support staff, which is on site, or which works 7 days a week. 7 days a week, our support team is working for you. We never leave anybody. We are here for you. We want you to succeed. I want you to succeed, which is why I'm here talking to you. Larry Lee, welcome to the family, my friend. Jacqueline, Wonder Boy was not the first time Till has missed weight. He has missed weight twice now in the welterweight division. Oh, Jacqueline, I didn't know that. Crazy, right? Even worse. Good point. Good point. All right, guys and girls, I appreciate you all being here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for visiting, and I will be back soon. Boom. And my good friends, my YouTube, or my Mike Dolce Show podcast friends, my family, my pies.